welcome to the Next in Line podcast, where we are helping to prepare you for whatever is next in line. As always, I'm your host, Chance Pitts, and I would like to thank you for tuning in to this episode. Guys, a little bit of housekeeping. If you receive value from this show or any of the other episodes that we put out, please make sure that you're sharing the podcast with like-minded individuals who might be able to benefit from that information as well. Also, make sure you're checking us out on social media. That's at Next in Line Development on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We're definitely seeing numbers jumping up on all avenues, so we're very excited to see that. Thank y'all so much for sharing the show, all of y'all who have put us out there on the various platforms, and also those who have left a rating, review, or subscribe to us on whatever platform you're listening on. That goes further than anything else for promoting the podcast and helping the movement grow. We're looking to just help as many people as we can, and I'm very excited to say that we're moving in the right direction. Just want to keep that train rolling down the tracks. And guys, a few things that I'm very excited about coming up here. Obviously, I've got the 100K 62-mile race over at Brazos Bend that I'm doing here on April 9th. Working towards that, trying to get to a point of being ready for it as well. We've also got a Tough Mudder coming up that we're doing with a lot of friends this weekend over in Bryan College Station, so we're super excited about that as well. We're going to roll that into the training regimen that we have going, but also something that I'm very excited about, and I think y'all will be as well, is the time change that just came around. No longer is it getting dark right after work in the evening, so a little bit more daylight to be able to do some training and other various activities, spend some time with the wife and family, and all of those things. I know we're going to all benefit from that pretty well, so giving up a little bit of sleep was something that advantageous just to give us a little bit of extra time on the backside, and I think y'all might agree with me on that one. But guys, what I want to talk to y'all about today is something that I've touched base with several different successful individuals on. We've had this conversation regularly with different people that we've come across, and I'm very excited to speak to that subject today because I think it's something a lot of people go through who are trying to better themselves and who are trying to develop within their lives and move in a positive direction. And that topic is the self-conscious side of success. Now, I know those two words sound kind of contradictory, but if you found yourself in this situation or surrounded by this type of person or in this conversation, I think you'll be able to relate back to what we're talking about. So now I'm somebody who is very proud of the different things that I've been able to accomplish. I'm very proud of the things that I am striving for in my life and the direction I've decided to go. I've told different people what I've done with my health, with my fitness, and some of my different career and professional development areas of my life and the positive directions that I've moved in. If you've listened to any previous episode of the podcast, I've spoke to it several different times. But one thing I do want to put out there is I am not a very bragging type person. I'm not braggadocious really at all. I don't like to be conceited. I don't like to put myself out there in a lot of ways. So this podcast is actually a big step for me saying some of the things that I'm able to accomplish. I don't want anybody to get the idea that I'm the kind of person that will just put myself out there just for the recognition involved with putting myself out there. That's not something I really like to do. And I really make strong efforts not to be seen as cocky as well. But it seems like every single time whenever small talk comes up or a conversation with someone new starts, it always comes to a certain point in that conversation. And like I said, many of y'all who are reaching or striving for different things in life, who are trying to develop themselves, whether it be personal or professional, will find yourself facing a question that can bring a little bit of discomfort. At some point in the small talks and in the introductions, a question comes your way. And that question is, what do you like to do? Something along those lines. So what do you like to do? And my answer to that question is usually something that is directly honest, but it can generate some different feelings from other people. As an example of that is one thing I like to do is I like to develop people. So I tell people in a lot of ways I'm a manager, I'm a leader, and I'm somewhat of a mentor as well. Now, along with that, I like to push the limits of my mental and physical abilities. So I tell people that I like to run ultra marathons, and I like to write, and I like to read, and I like to work on personal development. And then also, I like to show people what they are truly capable of. And it ties into the first point, but I also tell people that I'm a coach, I'm a motivator, and I like to share my different personal experiences with others, and I like to share with them that I have my own platform for spreading some different motivation in this podcast and the Next in Line movement. And like many of y'all have probably experienced, and like many of these conversations typically tend to go, many people find themselves in an uncomfortable spot whenever you say these big things. They're kind of judgmental in some ways, and you often feel like you're coming off as that guy who tries to put himself out there as better than other people, or tries to put himself out there as striving to be successful in different avenues that other people aren't trying to be successful in. And like I said, this becomes uncomfortable for a lot of other people. And it comes off as a little conceited as well, but that's one thing that could not be further from the truth. Now guys, am I competitive? Absolutely. I'm one of the most competitive people you will ever meet. Now, it's not to the point of being detrimental or acting inappropriate or getting out of hand in certain situations, but I am very competitive. Also, am I proud of my accomplishments? Absolutely. Anybody that knows me or that has listened, like I said, knows that I have tried to better myself in a lot of different ways. I strive for success, whether it be physical or mental development or even spiritual as well. So I am very proud of the things that I've been able to accomplish, especially in these past couple of years within my life. But more than that, I am proud of the impact that has had on other people. I'm proud of the different things I've been able to pass to others through my experiences, the motivation I've been able to start. The number of people around me who have started programs like 75 Hard, who have started to develop or tell me that this podcast and this movement helped them on a regular basis is huge. I never would have expected that I would be able to impact this many people just through the things that I am doing as a regular person here in life. And that's one thing that also in some ways really, really frustrates me beyond belief, is that people need to understand that all of these different things that I am striving to accomplish in my life, all of these different things that I'm pushing myself to do, are not things that are outside of the realm of possible for them. People need to understand that they are capable of so many different things. Guys, I'm not some kind of superhero. I'm not some kind of superhuman that can go run extreme lengths of races at different ultra marathons all the time and do these crazy things. No, it's something I work towards actively, and you can too. The common person, just like myself, can start to achieve great things whenever you put your mind to it. I am definitely not some kind of saint that's over here giving advice to other people because I am better than other people or that I have a different kind of mindset. Sure, I have unlocked a different kind of mindset within myself and within my life, but I'm not some kind of person that has done something that no one else is capable of doing. I'm not of a different world or a different breed or anything like that, or all these things you hear, I'm built different or I'm a different breed. No, it's none of that. It's just I decided to become better and to become the best version of myself that I could be. And now here I am, and everyone else is capable of this as well. But one thing more than that is I'm a guy who understands what it takes to move myself to the next level. I'm a man who understands that if I'm ever going to succeed in life, I'm going to have to push myself outside of the comfort zone where very few people are okay with going nowadays. And then whenever I do find myself outside of the comfort zone, guys, I'm going to have to fight like hell, and I fight like hell every single day against the rest of the people who had the courage or the bravery to step outside of their own comfort zones and to walk into the same path that I'm trying to walk as well. And I'll say it again, guys, I'm not one to brag. I'm not one who wants to come off as conceited. I don't like having a big ego. It's not in my nature. But one thing that is in my nature is being a very hard worker. is being very diligent with everything that I strive to do. I'm very meticulous whenever it comes to putting down the effort and paying attention to all the small details of what I'm trying to do. And no matter how uncomfortable that makes other people, no matter what vibe that gives off to the people that surround me, no matter how much my work ethic scares other people, I'm not going to alter my destiny in order to accommodate other people's comfort. I will remain relentless. I will give everything I have on a daily basis, and I will continue to chase down the things that I want in life. Because if I go and change myself in order to fit your needs or someone else's needs who I'm making uncomfortable, then I am cheating myself. So when it comes to these different conversations, and when it comes to talking about the accomplishments that I have, or answering that question of, so what do you do? I am not going to be ashamed of the efforts that I am putting out. I'm not going to be afraid of telling people that I am striving to reach my full potential, and neither should you. You should answer this question every single time with a passion and a purpose. Society today wants every single person to just jump into that underachiever class, just to jump into the average achievement class. It wants people to buy into the new, infected, and corrupted version of the American dream that we have before us. The one that's now deals with get out of school, go into debt, get a job that you hate, go further into debt whenever you buy a car or a house you can barely afford just to show off to other people and compete with other people. And then you have kids and that debt snowballs and you end up with a much tougher situation to crawl your way out of. And then finally, whenever you're able to achieve some sort of freedom because you've been able to save up and crawl out of these things and go through these different programs to get your debt removed, or whatever you're doing in life nowadays, trying to pay off your different debts that you owe, you get to a point where you're finally ahead and you break free, and then you can retire. But you're too old and you're too broke down from all the things you had to do for all those years to actually enjoy your life. And I don't want to be part of that system. I don't want to be part of that corrupt dream anymore. And I've decided to move against that. And that's something that few people are able to do in this time. And that's one of the reasons why I started this whole entire movement, is to be able to say no to that mindset and no to that lifestyle that's being projected to us. And it's something that starts whenever you answer that very question, that what do you like to do, or so what do you do question. You can't conceal your goals into your own mind, because if you conceal the goals into your mind and you leave them there, you conceal all of your ambition and your hopes there. You never let them come out to the surface. They're going to die inside your mind. Now, of course, there's a caveat to all this, guys. Your dreams and your goals and your ambitions aren't something that's just meant for every person's ears. Your goals and your ambitions aren't meant for small minds. And Steve Harvey says this better than almost anybody else. Whenever he says a quote, "The fastest way to kill a big dream is to tell it to a small-minded person." And I actually put that quote out on our social media not too long ago. Not to get too repetitive, but make sure you're checking us out on social media at Next in Line Development for daily motivation content and things to just get you thinking and moving in the right direction. But that quote is one of my favorite that we've ever put out. And while Steve Harvey might have screwed up with the whole Miss Universe announcement, I think he definitely got that quote and that phrase right. Guys, the moral of this entire story is you've got to be proud of yourself and proud of your accomplishments. And don't expect other people to believe in your accomplishments or your goal, or to be as open-minded or big picture oriented for your life as you are. You have to be smart with the audience that you speak to and the people who you share your vision with. Success for normal people often makes other people self-conscious. And that kind of goes back to the point of what we've talked about. But you know, there's two main reasons I want to drive home associated with this whole reason for being self-conscious and not wanting to share your goals and dreams with other people. And one, it's because it makes people uncomfortable. Other people like to throw rocks at your windows whenever you're trying to do good things in life. They don't want to be made uncomfortable by the things that you have going on. So it goes back to that age-old saying that we've always had of surrounding yourself with valuable and like-minded individuals. Surround yourself with people that are where you want to go or that are headed in the same direction as you. You want to make sure that you have an audience around you and a team around you that are going to help you achieve your goals. You want to make sure that you've got people that honestly want the best for you. And that's something that has changed the course of my own life. Guys, if you find yourself having to make excuses for yourself, having to make up reasons for wanting to find success that validates other people's feelings about that success, that is not a healthy place to be. You don't want to have to explain to other people why you want the best things possible in your life. That's not something that's healthy, and it's not a healthy relationship for yourself either. It's not something that you should have around you on a daily basis. People should understand the process and the reasoning and the desire to move to that next level. Those are the kind of people that you want to take with you. Like I said, guys, and like we've mentioned a million times before, if you surround yourself with 5 successful people, you're going to be the 6th. If you find yourself around 5 bums, 5 people that don't want to move in a positive direction, you're going to be the 6th bum. You're going to be the 6th person not moving in a positive direction. The second reason a lot of people find themselves not able to strive for these things or not able to have this mindset of success is that people are afraid to put themselves out there. People are afraid to put their vision out there because they think they might fail. They're afraid to say the things that they're going to do before they actually achieve them. They're afraid to discuss the path they are going to walk before they actually find themselves on the path. And guys, you cannot have that mindset. You've got to be able to put yourself out there. You've got to talk about the successes you are going to find. That is the only way to really hold yourself accountable, to put that stuff into reality. There's a lot of people that say, and I did not get who said this quote, but there's a lot of different people that have said this quote. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you've got a goal in mind and you've got a vision for yourself and a mindset and a dream inside your head, talk about it, put it out there, write it down. Visualize that thing on a daily basis because you have no idea the power behind having that thing in your mind and at the forefront of your thoughts on a daily basis. Guys, an example of this within my life is I could tell absolutely nobody what I am doing with this 100K. I could come in and just say one day, well, guys, I went and ran 100K and it went really good. Or, guys, I tried to run 100K this weekend and it went really bad. But guys, I'm going to put myself out there, I'm going to hold myself accountable, and I'm going to put that at the forefront so I hold myself to a standard of operation with training and preparation as well surrounding that run. I have no business trying to push myself really hard and run a 100K right now. Yes, I've had time to train for it, sure. But the longest race I have ran up to this point is a 50K race. The next stair step would have been a 50 miler. Going from that 33 mile to 50 would have been a good jump. But I decided, what the heck, I'm going to go ahead and try for 62 miles. And then my next race after that, if I find success, will likely be a 100 mile race. And when I'm saying these things, it's not to brag, but it's to give you an example of, guys, I put myself out there on a daily basis. I tell you the things that I'm going to do because I see a vision for myself. I see a place in my mind at which I am able to achieve these different things. I am able to strive above and beyond to become successful at a whole new level. I want to be able to push my mind to a place that, I don't know if it can fully go there just yet, but we're going to find out together, and I'm going to give it the absolute best shot that I can. And that's one thing that I don't think enough people do. They put themselves in a spot where they can be safe, or they can save themselves from embarrassment. They can save themselves from feeling bad whenever they don't achieve their goals. They hide from that failure. But that's one thing that I'm not going to do. And along with that, I also look at the times on those races. I look at the schedules on them. I look at the results from past years. And I think to myself, my last race, I was able to hold about a 9:30 pace, or around 10-minute mile pace or something like that, which is pretty on par for actually getting really close to winning a race of this distance. Now, does somebody who's never ran 100K and somebody who is probably not fully prepared the way he should be for a race like this have any business with that mindset? Probably not. But it's something that I'm going to keep in the forefront of my mind because that's a pace that I'm comfortable running at. It's something I was able to do on a 50K race, which is 33 miles, half the distance or so. But this is going to be a completely different ball game. But I'll tell you one thing, I would much rather shoot for a time like that, shoot for a pace like that, shoot for overachievement in that way than to shoot for underachieving, just shooting the bare minimum. I know if I keep a 14-minute pace, I'll finish the race and I'll be able to say that I finished without disqualifying myself for not meeting the time parameters. But I don't like to operate on that end of the spectrum, guys, and neither should you. We should all be focused on striving to achieve our goals in the best way possible. If you're going to do something, you should do it to the best of your ability. There's an old Ron Swanson quote that says, never do two things half-assed, do one thing whole-ass. And that's kind of what I'm talking about here, guys. I know that's a stupid expression, but strive to be the best. There's another old saying I'd like to throw at you that was from on the wall in one of my science classes in middle school, and it said, shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. And that's kind of what we're talking about here with those goofy sayings and with those old expressions, is strive to be the absolute best that you can. Push yourself. Don't be ashamed of the efforts that you're putting forth. Don't be worried about the way other people will perceive your success or the way that they will judge what you're trying to do in life. Just know that you're operating with a purpose. You're operating with a greater goal in mind. Nobody's inside of your head. Nobody's inside of your heart. They don't know what you're capable of. They don't know your passion. They don't know your drive. They don't know your desire for success like you do. So whenever you get up and whenever you get out of bed every single day, don't worry about the potential of failure in your life. Don't worry about making other people self-conscious with what you have going on. Don't let yourself become self-conscious because of the success and the goals that you are setting for yourself. You have to strive to be successful because the God's honest truth of this whole thing is that there is a season for everyone's success. There is a time for everyone to find their success and to reach their full potential in life. And the one thing that you can do above all else in order to serve other people and to help them move into a positive place is to be the absolute best version of yourself that you can be. And you can't do that whenever you're filtering yourself down for other people. Guys, thanks for tuning into this episode of the Next in Line podcast. Make sure you're checking us out on social media. That's at Next in Line Development on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Also, make sure you're leaving us a rating or review on whatever platform you are listening on. Make sure you're sharing this with like-minded people, and always be prepared for whatever is next in line.